Here we're going to look at a cumulative frequency question where you have to draw the cumulative frequency graph and then you have to read some values from it. This is a very important question on a GCSE exam because you'll notice it's worth 7 marks. So it's essential that you learn this as part of your revision. So for 1 mark, the first part and the easiest part is to complete the cumulative frequency table. And that's simply a running total of these values here. If you notice, that's from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50. The first number keeps changing all the time. On this table, the first number stays the same because it wants to include all the values from 20 up to 30, then all the values from 20 up to 40, then 20 up to 50, and so on. So the first line is exactly the same, 20 to 30, so it's just 12. Next box goes from 20 up to 40, so it wants to include the 12 and the 15. So you add those both together, which gets you 27. Now 20 up to 50. So you add these 3 together, or simply just add 18 onto 27, which gives us 45. 20 up to 60, add on another 12, which gives us 57. And then the last one, add on the 3, gets you up to 60. Now, a quick way of checking that that number's correct, if you look in the question, it told you there were 60 teachers, so they should match, and they do. Now, second part, on the grid opposite, draw a cumulative frequency graph for this information. Again, this is fairly straightforward. You just need to remember to use the upper limit here to plot your points against. So you go along to 30, up to 12, mark a point. Along to 40, up to 27, mark a point. Along to 50, up to 45, mark a point. Along to 60, up to 57, and along to 70 and up to 60, and mark a point. Now you don't just leave it like that, you join them with a nice smooth curve all the way down to 0. So as best you can, really you should be doing this in pencil in an exam, not with a red felt tip. So join them nice and smoothly down to 0. Now this is where you get quite a lot of marks. The second part, use the cumulative frequency graph to find an estimate for the median age. Well, the median age, median is the middle, so the middle of 60 teachers would be the 30th teacher. So we find the 30th teacher there, we draw a line across until we reach our curve, and then we draw a line down as accurately as we can, and we read off the value. Now mine reads off at 42 years. You do have to be careful, and you should have drawn this in pencil and it would be a little bit more accurate than mine. You would probably have about maybe a year either way leeway, but try and be as accurately drawn as you can. Now part D, use your cumulative frequency graph to find an estimate for the number of teachers older than 55. So find the age 55, which is down there. Draw your line straight up. It's important you use a ruler for this and don't just do it freehand. Then draw your line across. Now my line across hits the y-axis at 51, which means there are 51 teachers here that are below the age of 55. We were only interested in this part here, the teachers that were above 55, so that tells me from 51 up to 60 it must have been 9.